Hi, everyone. My name is Cassidy Hartman, and I'm a part of Group 10, along with Tommy, Ben, Jonathan, Jack, and Anthony. And we're going to be doing our case study analysis presentation on Shopify, an e-commerce site. So just a quick content overview. We're going to be going into an introduction, just some background information on the business and the founders who started the business. Then to a situational analysis where we'll talk on strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats that the business faces, leading into any assumptions and missing information, which will then lead us directly to a statement of problems. We will then talk about developing and evaluating different alternatives to solve these problems. Then moving to recommendations and implementation strategies for these problems and their alternatives, followed by an evaluation and control, and finally a conclusion, wrapping the entire presentation up. So, a little background on Shopify. It was founded in 2006 by Tobias Luca and Scott Lake, and it was originally thought up as a solution to problems that Luca and Lake were experiencing as they tried to set up an online e-commerce shop for their snowboarding business. They looked to it as an all-in-one platform that could help small business owners like themselves who were making the move into the online retail space. As they searched for a platform, they noticed a severe lack of user-friendly sites and set out to solve that issue. Today, Shopify has over 2.1 million users, with over 1 million businesses using its platform worldwide. It is a leader in e-commerce platforms. The two men originally set out to eliminate any need for third-party tools and resources that it sometimes takes in order to move businesses online. So their solution involved the platform with a diverse product mix of 7 different features. Some examples of these features include on-the-go, point of sale, email marketing, access to fulfillment centers, and more. Moving on to the situational analysis, Shopify has several strengths. Some of the most noticeable are its diverse product portfolio, which I may have already mentioned, and its 7 different features in this portfolio. Now, their large ecosystem is something that many of their competitors do not have and sets them apart. Their platform is also extremely user-friendly, which allows Luca and Lake to devote themselves in a way to their surrounding community and customers that other businesses may not be able to. They believe that investing in their customers and community is a crucial part of long-term success. In terms of weaknesses, Shopify presents a lack of racial and ethnic diversity within their employees. Now, a lack of diversity within businesses usually ends with the company experiencing severe disdain from consumers, as well as a downward trend in business. Shopify also experiences high customer churn, which many customers can be attributed to leaving after the end of their free 14-day trial period. Some opportunities for the company are possible strategic partnerships with other brands that share complementary services and values. Now, Shopify does have some relationships in place with companies like Walmart, Facebook, and Affirm, but an expansion on these relationships could prove vital, as well as looking into a strategic partnership with any local or small businesses in their community. Shopify has the opportunity to improve its pricing strategy as well as maintaining continued customer satisfaction. Now, the platform has many different packages and features where you can add on to your existing subscription, which can kind of be confusing for the customer. So a more structured pricing tier with different packages could be an opportunity for the business. Now, Shopify does face threats, especially internationally. As the platform expands their business into more and more countries, more thought needs to be placed into abiding by foreign business practices. And the company should be concerned about varying international regulations on e commerce, as well as the technology behind e commerce as it is continually evolving.
Hello, my name is Ben Newton, and I will be presenting on the assumptions and missing information of our Shopify case. To start off with global regulations, when branching out into international markets, Shopify must take into consideration the difference in laws and regulations in these different places. Shopify may not be able to run their business the same way that they do in the US, in a different country, or a different region. For these reasons, they must look at what market they're looking to target before trying to enter that market, as it could drastically affect how they're able to run their business and could cause them more costs if they're not properly prepared before entering a certain market. With that being said, entering a global or international market is definitely something that would benefit their business, as the global e-commerce market prediction for 2024 is $3.647 billion. This shows that there's definitely a market out there and something that hasn't been tapped into from other competitors. So this is something that Shopify could take for their business and further their business and make more revenue. Another thing that could set them apart is their pricing strategy. While there are many competitors that Shopify has to go against, their pricing strategy is a way for Shopify to set themselves apart from their competitors. Many of the competitors, as well as Shopify, offer something like a free trial or a freemium program. And while these may be advantageous in acquiring customers, they aren't necessarily usable for keeping customers around. For these reasons, these types of programs aren't exactly what can help Shopify. Acquiring customers isn't necessarily the issue, rather, they must keep these customers for the long term. This brings us to our problem statement, which is Shopify's current pricing strategy creates high levels of customer churn that ultimately decreases the number of users on its platform and therefore lowers sales. As I was saying before, things like a free trial or freemium program don't necessarily keep customers around. They just show a little sneak peek into what Shopify can offer, and then the people don't stay around to actually pay for the program. So, this is something that we can look into to solving and keeping customers at their business. Thank you.
All right, I'm Jack, and I'm going to be discussing the alternatives that we have developed as well as the recommendation. So, the first alternative that we developed has to do with Shopify's product offerings and will help with the sustainability of the company. The second alternative deals with their marketing strategy and will affect Shopify's reach in a positive way. And the third has to do with partnerships as well as acquisitions and will help with brand awareness and brand recognition. So, alternative one is to implement a new and improved marketing strategy. A new marketing plan will create for a fresh new strategy that consumers will most likely be attracted to. The current promotion plan that Shopify has in place is very drawn out and has become very old. I'm sure a lot of you have seen a number of paid promotions with various content creators or influencers promoting the brand as part of paid partnerships, and it's become very redundant in recent years. The alternative of a new marketing plan will require a lot of cost, as completely changing a complete marketing plan is not cheap at all. It's also important to streamline this new plan so that no matter when and where Shopify wants to implement it, the company internally knows how to do it effectively. So here's a figure that really helps put into perspective what a fresh marketing scheme could do for the company. Some key points from this table are that Shopify holds a much larger market share in just the US as compared to their market share in the world as a whole. Another point is that we estimate that Shopify could increase their global market share by around 5%, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but would equate to a huge number of customers. Alternative two is to optimize the service offerings and diversify the product portfolio. Offering new services and products will help decrease customer churn due to the new sheer number of options that customers have to choose from on the platform. The service as a whole will be easier for customers to use due to an expanded product portfolio. It will also allow for customers to really customize their own experience, which will ultimately make them happier and will reduce the likelihood of them leaving and in turn reduce customer churn for Shopify. Shopify could also alter their free trial offerings, as in 2020, Shopify actually saw a 71% increase in the use of their services when they extended the trial period from 30 days to 90 days. So this is a table that just shows estimates of revenue, costs, and profit increase from a new service offering and pricing strategy, and I will touch a little bit more on this later. So our third and final alternative is to pursue strategic partnerships and acquisitions. Partnerships will help improve the brand awareness and the brand recognition for Shopify because it will expose the company to a whole new customer base. Partnerships will also allow Shopify to really extend their reach into other markets besides just e-commerce. The second part of this alternative is to try to adopt an aggressive acquisition strategy where Shopify will go out and try to buy adjacent companies in the e-commerce market. This could be pretty costly, but could also benefit the company greatly if they're able to do this effectively. And if Shopify were able to acquire a brand or multiple brands within the e-commerce market, they would be able to obtain a whole new client base that they're already seeking. So this table simply shows all of Shopify's biggest competitors and where the company ranks among them in terms of global market share. Something that's interesting is that the top two parent companies, WooCommerce and WooThemes, I had never honestly heard of them before personally, and they have very little market share, if any, in the US, but they are the top two leading in the world. The bottom three companies of Squarespace, Shopify, and Wix are all recognizable here in the US, and they all hold large percentages of the US market share. So ultimately, our recommendation is to implement the second alternative, which was to optimize Shopify's service offerings and diversify the product portfolio. So based on the table on the left, we estimate that Shopify, who already brings in an annual revenue of about $7.1 billion, will be able to increase the revenue by about 400 million. And after all of the upfront costs, implementation costs, and customer acquisition costs, Shopify will be able to increase their profit by about $150 million.
Hi, my name is Anthony, and I'll be covering the implementation section of our Shopify case study, in particular with optimizing Shopify's service offerings to its customers. So, in our research, we found that a 12-month timeline would be the best for ensuring a smooth transition between an old pricing structure into the new one, as well as the old free trial links into the new ones. So our goals would be to simplify user decision making, optimizing the lengths of the free trials, as well as enhancing customer engagement and just overall experience. So jumping right in, the first 2 months of the implementation plan will be will involve the initial analysis and planning. And so in this, Shopify will be conducting in-depth analysis to identify areas that are necessary for any kind of types of revisions or changes. So any areas within the pricing model that just need to be changed up. And this time will also be used to determine the most optimal length for the free trials based on previous consumer behavior. Months 3 to 4 of the plan will be dedicated to finalizing the new pricing structures and the new trial periods. And this period will also be used to begin communicating with existing and prospective customers about the upcoming changes. These are big changes that Shopify would be changing. So it's very important to have clear communication with future and existing customers. Months 5 to 6 will be the official launch of the new pricing plan, as well as the new launch of the extended trial periods. And during this time, while everything is being launched, this time will also be used to have an upselling campaign and to really let everyone know and the public know about these new changes and spin it into a very positive note. Months 7 to 10 will be the evaluation and adjustment phase of the plan. And so for the first 2 months, 7 and 8, Shopify will be evaluating the initial impact using key metrics like retention and satisfaction scores. And they can also utilize focus groups for just deeper insights and more personal experiences on how these changes just really are affecting Shopify as a brand. And months 9 to 10 will is very similar to the previous 2 months, but these months will also be used just for continued data collection, as well as just tweaking and fine-tuning little areas that need to be changed within the pricing structure while it's in a live environment. And for the last section of this plan, months 11 to 12 will be just the review and planning for the future and heading on. So assessing overall impact of the pricing changes on customer acquisition, retention, and revenue. It's important for Shopify to just really look at that and review and see how these changes either positively or negatively affected the company. And this time will also be used to identify areas that are also in need of further improvement and will allow Shopify to plan their next steps moving forward.
Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan, and I will be covering evaluation and control. So first off, we will start off with our targets and methods when evaluating our decision once it's implemented. So our first target would be a 14% increase in subscription revenue over the next year and a half. This increase would bring Shopify back to their record high subscription revenue earned in 2022. With this targeted growth, we will aim to surpass our previous highs, and this growth will appeal to investors and could potentially draw an increase in our market share. Capitalizing on what our decision has to offer, we plan to monitor subscription account of each plan and see increases over time. As the year continues, Shopify aims to produce an increase in subscriptions of the more advanced plans offered due to the new availability of the advanced free trials. We can then use this data available to us to monitor the usage of free trials by new users. We can also gauge how appealing our offers are to the new consumers. Our second target would be a 7% increase in subscription count overall by the end of the year. We hope to see the largest growth in our advanced plans. With these methods of evaluation, we can conclude whether our advanced plans are priced correctly with their correlated value to the consumer. So next, we will discuss our methods of control once this decision is implemented. So our methods of control are listed below, and each of these methods will be based on certain results based on the reaction from the consumer. So our first method would be in the case that we see an increase in users canceling their subscriptions before their free trial is over, we can decrease the duration of our free trials. This will be a way to counter users from losing interest before their trial is over. For our second method of control, in the case that we see an increase in our basic plan, but a slight growth in our advanced plan, we can consider adjusting our advanced plan's pricing to better fit the consumer. This will be based on data obtained after a 4-month period of implementation. For our third method of control, in the case that we see little to no growth in our subscriber count, we can increase our promotion of the new trials via ads and social media. We should do our best to target new users with our promotions, sparking interest with our new offers. So in conclusion, Shopify has found ways to revolutionize the market with their well-established platform. Consistently adapting to consumers' expectations plays a large role in this. Their ability to offer an all-in-one service and form multiple partnerships with other powerful companies are examples of this. Optimizing their pricing plan and free trials to better match the consumer's expectations can be another way to put themselves at an advantage over the rest of the market. They can do this by improving in ways that their competitors may not consider or target. This decision would be improving the value that Shopify offers to the consumer, which could lead to a considerable subscriber increase. With Shopify finding ways to consistently improve, their advantage over its competitors could become so significant that Shopify could begin to price their competitors out of the market. This would better allow Shopify to secure their top position as the #1 e-commerce platform. And now we can cover some case questions. Case study question number 1. How is Shopify different from other e-commerce platforms? Shopify is more of an all-in-one platform. Shopify has correctly identified customer needs in the e-commerce, and as a result, their platform covers all the essentials, such as the need for an online store, customer support, and order fulfillment. Many e-commerce retailers do not offer all of these services on their platforms, and instead choose to incorporate separate tools and services into their product, which may not appeal to the consumer and bring confusion or distrust. Case study question number 2. Describe Shopify's product strategy. Shopify's product strategy is incorporating all the essentials of e-commerce into their platform and staying ahead of their competitors by offering more than what other platforms can. This can be explained by their newly released mobile app or their multiple partnerships, such as their partnerships with Facebook, Etsy, Pinterest, and Walmart. Being more efficient and adaptable and satisfying the needs of the consumers has put them at the top of their market. Case study question number 3. What are Shopify's weaknesses and strengths? Shopify's strengths seem to outweigh their weaknesses by a considerable margin. Shopify already holds a dominant spot in their market. They offer an all-in-one service, something that their competitors lack, and they also have strong logistics and partnerships. Shopify's weakness is that the size of their platform may cause them to slow in their ability to incorporate new services and promote new product ideas. They also have a number of competitors who are consistently looking to capitalize anywhere Shopify lacks. This is why Shopify must consistently improve and adapt to changing conditions to keep their top position in e-commerce. And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to hear some feedback. Thank you.